Hey guys, what's up? I know I've been gone for a while, but I thought I'd return and hit you with another video. Being judgmental is simply being overly critical. It is a very subjective term because what is overly critical? I don't think that we can use science to determine it, so it comes down to vegans and non-vegans just having different perspectives. I mean, to non-vegans, we must come off as being overly critical. They don't see it as a big deal, and we do. So to them, we are being overly critical, and to us, they're disregarding something extremely important. I don't really feel bad when non-vegans call me judgmental. I mean, of course to them I am, but in reality, I don't think I am. Veganism is super important. The things we could do with a vegan world. There would be more money, there would be more food, there would be less pollution, and we could finally look at ourselves with pride and marvel at our moral achievement. It's really important. I mean, if veganism is wrong, if it is not immoral to unnecessarily harm and kill animals, pretty much anything a vegan says is unreasonable and overly critical. But if veganism is right, if killing animals for trivial pleasures is immoral, then vegans are not being unreasonable at all. So within the context of veganism being the absolute truth, vegan behavior is totally justified. In order to claim that vegans are judgmental, you also have to prove that killing animals for food is not immoral. What is really lacking here is understanding. Animals value their own lives the same way that we value our own lives. No one should be stripped of their life to appease a trivial pleasure. Just because we've always done it, just because it's socially acceptable, or just because it tastes good is not justification for stealing the most precious thing any one individual has, its own life. Everyone has their own value system. We use our value systems every day to judge what is important and what isn't important. We can use thought experiments to demonstrate this system. One thought experiment is the burning building experiment. You are in a burning building with a child and a pig. You can only save one. Who do you save? A child and a pig have no real value besides the value that we give. Since value is a concept, many will argue that it's completely subjective, which it totally might be, but that's another topic altogether. Either way, most people will find this to be an easy question. Some will find it to be challenging, and some will even find it to be impossible to answer. The difference between a non-vegan and a vegan is their value systems. A vegan values an animal's life over a meal, over fashion, or over entertainment. A non-vegan values those other things more than the animal's life and well-being. But what non-vegans and vegans agree on is that the question of value itself is an easy question. What they disagree on is the answers to those questions. So that's the source of this knee-jerk reaction to call vegans judgmental. It's like, what? They're only animals. Animals are low on the value system, so we can do whatever we want to them. Therefore, your judgment is overly critical, which makes you judgmental. They don't understand that vegans have changed their value system from the value system. Instead of realizing that, hey, we weren't always vegan, and if we've changed our value system, there has to be a good reason for it. The reason is that we realized that our values were inconsistent. We've always known it was wrong to discriminate against individuals because of their gender, race, or orientation, but then we later realized that discriminating against an individual because of their species was essentially the same thing. We were just following the norm and assuming that we were being morally consistent, but when we thought about it objectively, we realized how inconsistent it actually was. So it's like, if non-vegans call vegans judgmental, it's just because of a knee-jerk reaction to a position that they haven't thought out well and haven't dissected objectively. It's really nothing to take personally or even be offended by. Non-vegans will use it as a defense mechanism to justify looking the other way when it comes to animal rights. A vegan was mean to me, so I'm not going to listen to anything any vegans have to say. They want to shift the subject away from what they are doing and right back onto the rude, intolerable, militant behavior of vegans. Vegans will suggest that animals are the victims, and non-vegans will respond by claiming that they themselves are the actual victims, not the animals. This is nothing more than victim shifting. It's a manipulation tactic that people use to alter the reality of what's actually happening. They want to pretend that vegans are the bad guys, because it makes it easier for them to turn a blind eye. But in reality, vegans are not the bad guys. Vegans are not judgmental, and the animals are the actual victims. The only thing a vegan is judging non-vegans about is their culture, and I don't think it's unreasonable to judge someone based on something as trivial as culture, especially when it comes to the well-being of other sentient beings. Judgment is a tool. As social animals, we use judgment to hold each other accountable so we can maximize well-being in our communities. But just like any tool, judgment can be misused. But I really don't believe that vegans are misusing this tool. In reality, it doesn't matter how someone treats you. The truth is the truth. If someone is offering you truth, then you can't reject it on the grounds of their presentation. Vegans aren't campaigning for a political platform or a charity or a business. Vegans are simply saying if it's wrong to discriminate against an individual because of their gender, race, or orientation, it's also wrong to discriminate against an individual because of their species. Well, that's it today, guys, so I guess I'll see you next time. Oh, hey, if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you hated the video and you're an asshole, go ahead and leave it a thumbs down, and I'll see you guys next time.